business world as well. And also, of course, thanks to Angelia for coming with us. I hope tonight you're not going to ask us to suddenly stand up. Okay, so to check on our pens.
Unfortunately, I can't, yeah.
Oh, but this is a timely reminder that
Yes.
most of us have moved to online. Are we still focused the form? Although sometimes we talk about substance, we always say there must be a balance between form and substance, and some people are neglecting the substance also. So we hope that we can hear more about it tonight. As sent as a very important reminder, and in fact, maybe some people are going to hear it for the first time from a professional point of view. Your style, your fashion sense. So thanks again, for sharing with us, Patrick and Julia. And for the rest of us, okay, have a good night. And I really hope that this session will be meaningful, a springboard for some of us to do greater things and more things to come. All right, thanks. All right, is Nick? Nick, are you there? Or Nick, do you need me to? Okay. As and when you want me to take over, you can just let me know, Nick. Okay.
Sure, no problem. Thank you so much, David. So, welcome to everyone who come to APTS monthly session. And tonight, I mentioned earlier that I'm great is that allow us to do anything. And you lost me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, now you're back.
Oops, can't hear you.
Yeah, can hear.
Nick, we can't hear
you. Can you hear me?
On and off.
Okay, sure. New norm now. So dressing etiquette in the new. I hand over to you. Would that be able? Okay, David. Sorry.
Okay, it's okay. I assume that Nick has lost connection. All right. How about Patrick? Are you around, Patrick? Can't see your face. I think you're on mute.
Yeah, I'm around. I'm around. Yeah, I don't want to frighten. I don't want to frighten people in my face. Yeah.
Why would we be frightened? We'll be more than happy to see you. Yeah. Patrick, you? I think you probably see. Betsy, you're here right tonight. Betsy, you're from HSR, right?
Yep. My ex-colleague. Yeah, hi Betsy. Good to see you.
Okay. We're not gonna take any time. We're not gonna take any time from Patrick. Patrick has so much to share, and I really want to reserve every time for him. So, Patrick, without further ado, can we just start hearing from you tonight? Share with us.
No problem at all. No problem at all.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Patrick sharing first or am I sharing first?
Let Angelia share first.
Sorry.
Angelia sharing first.
Wait,
I
must respect the Nick. Nick, you have scheduled Angelia to share first.
Yeah, he scheduled me.
Yes.
Yes.
No wonder Patrick.
Yes, Angela is supposed to share first.
Hey, I brought my wedding jacket. I married 30 years ago just for Angelia.
Thank you so much, Patrick. Patrick, you're okay? I start first.
Sure. Please do that. I'm here to learn from you. Yeah.
Sure. Okay, so can I start sharing my screen now?
Time is yours,
yes.
Angela. Thank you, Angela.
Okay, can everyone see my screen clearly?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. Now, good evening, everyone. It's so happy to see you. Today is Thursday. It's coming to a weekend again. And first, I must say a big thank you to Nick for the invitation. It's really a privilege and honor to be here to share with you. And yes, my topic is about dressing. So you all can relax and enjoy yourself. Dressing is basically something that is fun. And it's something that you should enjoy it and you shouldn't feel stressful about it. See? So Patrick, please don't feel stressed about it. Huh? Okay, now the topic that I'm going to talk about today is dressing etiquette in the new norm. We talk about new norm is basically because, as we all know that in the new norm, many things have changed. That includes dressing. And working in the fashion industries, especially in the retail, we have also experienced and seen many changes, especially in the buying powers of customers and their buying habits and their change in taste and style as well. So later on, I will share with you based on my experience. All right. And I hope that whatever I share with you today, you will find it useful and you can use it. All right. Now, I will promise you for your time and efforts here today, your takeaway. First, you will understand what are the emotions that are associated with outfits that we are wearing. The second takeaway would be you will learn how to better make use of your outfits to communicate better with your audience, especially for us as a trainer. It's pretty important. All right. Now, the third point is how do we make good choices outfits and make sure that whatever you are wearing is doing justice to your credentials. All right. And with that, my name is Angelia. My surname is Puan. And today I'd like to share with you, allow me to share with you what I do and some of the experience I've gone through. I've been doing corporate training for about 20 years or slightly more than 20 years. So places that I train, I teach, a lot of companies like banks, even property companies. But the more regular places that I teach would be places like LTA and HDB, CAAS, NTUC, NTU, NUS, and SIM. I name these few is because these are the more regular places that I do training with, right? Now, besides corporate training, because I come from the fashion industries, I'm trained in fashion. So I also do a lot of style coaching for companies, especially fashion companies. So some of the fashion companies that I work with include this company called Society A. Society A is a company that actually carries designer from Southeast Asia. So what I train in Society A is I train the girls, the retail personnel to recognize different kinds of styles and personality and how do you recommend it to the customers and dress them all better. And besides clothing, styles also includes shoes. And of course, this company engaged me to do styling and coaching for their staff as well. Lush Addiction is a local company. And this is a company whereby I teach them how to do styling using all kinds of jewelries and accessories. And of course, not forgetting, this is one of the companies that I worked with very closely recently, Rose of Sharon, who are in the local scene business retail for about more than 20 years. All right. Now, besides styling, I do customized designing as well. Some of you probably have known me. In fact, I know some of you when I was having a shop in People's Park, and that's where I do customization design. And why do I do customization design is because different people has got different style. And then when they need something that's very different and very, it's very individual, they need to have someone to design for them. So that's where I have the chance to work with some local celebrities and I get to design clothes for them. And last year, I was honored to be appointed by one of the local pageant organizer to be appointed as their official professional coach for the finalists of the Mrs. Singapore International, the finalists of the Lady Excellence Award, and also the honorees of the Singapore Golden Brands Awards. So what I do is I train them in areas of styles and image as well. Now, currently I'm serving in IWFCI. IWFCI means International Women's Federation of Commerce and Industry Singapore. Currently, I'm serving as the first president and I'm in charge of the events. And this allows me to have the chance to communicate with a lot of women, businesswomen, SME. And from here, we have got courses and workshops that we empower women as well. And from here, I get to meet many, many women for all walks of life. Now, of course, during this time, a lot of people are planning moving forward. That includes me. Upcoming projects that I have for August 2021 would be going into strategic alliance with this company called the Kingdom of Esther. So if you like, you can always follow me. And this is the academy whereby I would be teaching and coaching to people who wants to go into this industry to become a stylist and an image consultant like myself. All right, now, so much for introducing myself. Now, the most popular questions that usually people ask me, especially now in the new norm, is to wear or not to wear. To you, okay, I know what you are thinking, okay, to wear or not to wear. All right, now let me explain before you have any wild imagination. to wear or not to wear. What does that mean? Now, last year, in April 2020, in this program, Good Morning America, a reporter for ABC, Will Rift, he was caught wearing only the business attire from the waist up. Not sure whether you have seen this news, all right? But later on, he explained that, he accidentally shifted himself and, his leg was exposed to the camera views. Now, things like that do happen. I'm not sure about you, but the thing is, you see, whatever is the reason, it shows. Nobody is going to say that, okay, because you're not careful, but the fact that it shows, all right? So the virtual meeting still calls for professional attire, whether you like it or not. Now, today we are basically talking about appropriate clothing, appropriate dressing. So appropriate clothing still is a good dressing etiquette, all right? So to wear or not to wear, you may choose to wear because you are afraid to be caught. But you should be wearing, once you understand this term called enclosed connection. So what is enclosed connection? So that's what I'm going to share with you now. Now, enclosed connection is a psychological effect that describes the influence of clothes that we wear on the connective process, right? And scientists have shown that the dress can influence our levels of confidence, attention, and abstract thinking ability. To further explain on this, I have a little video to show you, a short one, to explain what is enclosed connection.
Clothing is more than just decoration for the body or protection from the elements. Clothes have powers over your mind. Scientists have demonstrated this in experiments in which they divided people into two groups. Group A wore their normal street clothes, while Group B wore their normal clothes and lab coats. When those people went on to perform tests of mental agility, the group wearing lab coats made about half as many mistakes as the group not wearing lab coats. Strangers still, in a similar experiment in which both groups wore lab coats, but one was told they were wearing painter's smocks and the other told they were wearing doctor's coats, the doctor's clothes group performed much better in brain games than did the painter's clothes group. Scientists call this weird phenomenon enclosed cognition, and they say it depends on both the symbolic meaning of the clothing and the psychological experience of wearing the clothes, constantly reminding you of what those clothes represent. The symbolic power of a white coat changes depending on what you call it, and then wearing it prepares you to be more attentive or more careful or more artistic. That feeling can then translate into actual changes in your behavior and performance depending on the situation. So remember, the clothes you wear don't just change the way other people see you, they change the way you see yourself. And wearing certain kinds of clothes can affect the way you behave and even change the way you think. That means wearing a pair of glasses not only makes you look smart.
Okay, all right, I will stop here. So this explains what is enclosed connection. So basically, to summarize it, what you wear does affect the way that you're going to present yourself. All right, and so that's the reason why we are doing this. We are talking about this evening. Now, clothes has power. As you can see from this picture, one look, you can tell that it all symbolizes different things and it means different things. From when you dressed up, actually, have you ever asked yourself, when you dressed up and you look yourself in the mirror, and what does it say about you? We look at the first picture. He looks smart. He looked like the typical business professional or businessman, right? Now, the second pictures show someone who wears something which is not so ordinary. She chose a leopard print. So this could be someone who trying to express herself that she is different from other people because she didn't want to be the same. Now, the third picture shows a lady in a white business suit. A white business suit makes you look softer. You still look professional, but you look softer, you look approachable, and you look friendlier. All right. Now, the fourth picture shows a lady with a bright red jacket. Now, how many of you actually will wear a red jacket? Would you? Any one of you? Well, for some of you who wear red jackets, right? Actually, red is very bright. Not many people want to wear red is because they shine away. They feel that it's too bright and it attracts too much attention. So for those who usually wear reds are people who like to have attention, seek attention, right? Now, nothing wrong about that, okay? It's just a meaning that we're trying to explain. Now, the last picture is very interesting. I'm not sure any one of you here will actually wear like that, okay? Nick, would you? I'm not sure whether you wear this. Okay.
Of course, I do that.
You do, right?
Yes, I love that.
I think of you, you know. Okay. Now, this is a very interesting attire, all right? He's trying to express himself. He could be in a creative industry. He could be in something that is very artistic, okay? It's just a way that he expresses himself. So what we're trying to say here is that without you realizing it, clothes has this power very subtly, talking to people, communicating with your audience without you realizing it. So what we're going to do today is to highlight a few things to let us at least, make known and aware that the next time when you put on a piece of outfits and you were to communicate with someone, what does it say about you? Now, appropriate clothing is good dressing etiquettes, right? Now, in the current world of virtual meeting, I'm sure trainers, all of you, not all, perhaps majority of you, are investing heavily on equipment, sophisticated equipment, to make a presentation look more presentable and professional, isn't it? All right. Now, so much efforts have been spent on audios and videos, but many of us perhaps have neglected these very important areas, which is the subject. And the subject we're talking about is you. All right. Now, if there is one important thing that the presenter must really work on to increase their online presence and communicate more effectively with your audience, it will have got to be your clothes. So for today, I would like to focus on two areas. The first we're going to focus on is, of course, when we talk about clothes, we talk about styles. There are many different types of clothing, there are many different styles. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the styles of the clothes. The second thing that we're going to talk about is the colors of the clothes. All right. So for styles, we will talk about how styles and colors is able to communicate better with your audience, especially our virtual audience. So for styles, I will share with you the 3 C's of styles, and for colors, I will share with you the 2 C's of colors. All right, now the 3 C's in color basically refers to classic, clean, and conservative. We will start off talking about classic. We are referring to classic style. So what is classic styles? All right, everybody talks about classic styles. Classic styles, we all know that it is a style that never go out of fashion. It is a style which is simple, plain, and it has got very little details on the outfits. You don't see a lot of big bright buttons. You don't see ties that is in bright colors. You don't see frills and ribbons on the outfits. And even if there is the pockets are very subtle. And not forgetting that classic is because it is aesthetically pleasing to the eyes. Because it is so plain and so simple, so it becomes very soothing to the eyes, right? Now, and classic is the choice is because it is universally accepted by many. So what do we mean by that? Now, when we talk about styles, we have this thing called the personality styles. Now, different people with different personality, you will dress differently. So for example, let's say a person who is more flamboyant, he or she would like to wear things which is a little bit more dramatic, a little bit loud, a little bit extreme, you see. But the thing is, not many people are able to accept your kind of styles, right? So since we're in a virtual meeting and we need to make a virtual appearance, the safest and the best choice to have is keep to classic, all right? Now, and not forgetting, if you were to invest on clothes in the new norm, when you choose classic, classic lasts you for seasons. So that's actually worth investment. All right, here there's a few pictures. It's just a reminder to some of you, sometimes we forget to check ourselves in the mirror when we go into the meetings. Now, these are a few things that you may want to avoid. Like, for example, the first one, a lady in a very bright flowers. Prints is one important factor that we should really consider. Avoid colorful flowers or anything that is see-through. And not forgetting that what we see is waist up, isn't it? Okay, and especially now we are so near to the screen, and in fact, it's pretty obvious. All right, now the things you should always avoid are words, which is loud, bold, all right? And not only that, it can be very distracting as well, okay? Now, the next C, the first C that we were talking about just now, we are talking about classic styles, right? Now, the next C that we should take note of is this called clean. What do I mean by clean? Now, clean basically refers to outfits that are away from complicated detailings like pockets, scarves. If you must have a pocket, we avoid pockets that is big, loud, and distracting. And if you must wear a scarf, sometimes we forget, especially for ladies, we may think that, hey, we're wearing a t-shirt at home, it's so plain, right? So you just want to wear a scarf so you look more presentable. But the opposite may happen. When you put on a beautiful scarf or a very bright scarf on a very plain shirt, the scarf actually becomes your main attraction, and that becomes very distracting to your audience. So you may want to consider again if you are going to wear a scarf. Now, this is something that I must remind, especially for the guys. All right. Now, guys, I'm sure you have a lot of shirts, polo shirts that have got big prints, or rather logo, correct or not? That it's on the clothes here. Now, I think a lot of us forget that when we are talking online, it's so near, people can see. So when they look at you as you speak, people are looking at the logo. Now, nothing wrong about that, but perhaps we like to ask ourselves these questions. During a presentation, are you selling yourself, or are you selling the brand which is on your outfit? So if you are not selling the brand that is on the outfit, why are you doing a free advertisement for them? So why don't you just choose something which is plain? Okay. Now, the third C is we are referring to, okay, sorry, there's an error I wrote down there, right? The 3 C's in style. The third C in styles is called conservative. What do I mean by conservative? Conservative in accessorizing. Please avoid anything that is loud, colorful, because they are too distracting. I know a lot of people like to wear big necklace like that, but don't forget that when we are online, right, it's very near to the screen, your necklace become the one that is the main attraction, and that can be very, very distracting as well. And of course, if you really must wear, why don't you wear accessories or a necklace which is more, and let the attention be on your face and not on your necklace. Same thing for the guys. Guys, I know now we have a lot of nice, interesting ties and pocket squares, But if you look at this picture, don't you think that the pink pocket square actually kind of stand out, right? Because it's bright, it's very outstanding. So when people look at you as you speak, the eyes is always focused on the pocket square. Would you want that? So if you don't want that, so why don't you choose something which is a little bit subtle, like the second picture. The guy is wearing a pocket square, a light blue pocket square, which blends in with his shirt. So he looks kind of, blended in. And of course, the audience can always focus on you, your face, as you speak. So that's what we mean by conservative in accessories. Okay, and of course, that includes for the ladies as well. If you're going to wear earrings, try to avoid things which is long and dangling and make sounds, because that can be something that is very distracting as well. Okay, so far so good. Now, what I want to highlight to all of us here, especially as a presenter, as a trainer, is that we must know that the attention should be on the subject, which is ourselves, the presenter, and not the objects that is on your outfits. Now, colors. Colors are very, very interesting, right? What I'm going to share with you, colors. We are going to talk about the 2 C's in colors. We are going to talk about how colors can connect and can convey. And important thing is we all must understand that why am I focusing on colors is because colors is very powerful because it speaks so much about who you are and what you do without you realizing it. Now, the 3 C's of colors, the first we're going to talk about is connect. How do colors connect with your audience? How can it connect? Can colors connect with your audience? Some of you may ask, why do we use colors to connect? Now, let me explain further on that. Okay. First, we must ask ourselves, when we are doing a presentation, who are the audience and who do you want to connect with? What are the geographics? Are they male or female or children? Are they housewife or they businessmen? So this is something that you may want to think about first. And let's say, assuming the group of people that you want to connect with is women. Like for example, I'm with this Women Association, IWFCI, and the groups of audience that I present to are women, right? So this is my considering factor. So I have to know that since color is something that stirs emotions, colors, there is this thing called color psychology. So it gives people different kind of feeling. When people look at colors, they have got different feeling towards it. Either you like it or you don't like it. So especially so for women, women are also very sensitive towards color. So assuming as a presenter, when I'm connecting with women, I would like to use the kind of outfits, the colors that I choose. What would be the best color? Anyone of you want to guess? Some people tell me pink. Do you think so? Yes.
White.
White. Okay. What about the colors?
Pastel colors.
Pastel color. Okay. Now, whatever I'm going to share with you, right? All these are done by color analysis and color experts, and they have done a conclusion. And these are the things. These are the examples that I'm going to share with you. Now, based on these color wheels that I'm going to show you here, as you can see, there are many different colors. Now, what colors that actually connect well with women are? Anybody want to guess from this color wheel? What color is that? The choice of colors are here on the color wheels for you to choose. You want to make a wild guess?
I think the color is pink.
You think it's pink? Violet? Okay. Now, blue. Women, a lot of women loves blue, right? So meaning to say that when you are in blue, they feel more connected with you. Besides blue, there's this color between blue and green. We can call it turquoise. It's a combination of blue and green. We call it turquoise, right? And another color would be violet. Violet would be between red and blue. So these are actually the three colors that you may want to consider the next time when you're presenting to a group of women. It's quite interesting, isn't it? Okay. Hey, what about men? Now, by the way, right, we are not talking about what kind of colors that men love the most, you know, what colors do men usually like? We're not talking about that. We are talking about what kind of colors connect better with men.
Black color.
Black color, you think so? Okay, right. Now, again, from this color wheel, you may choose. Which color do you think connect better with men? Okay, let me give you the first one. Red.
Well, but as a man, I don't get connected with the color.
Who's that?
Adam.
Adam here.
Okay.
Surprise, red color.
Surprise, huh? Okay, besides red, there's one more. Red orange. Towards a bit orange. Are all the bright colors, isn't it? Okay. If this doesn't work with some men, you have got one more choice. Blue. Blue sounds more like it, huh? Okay, so this is the three colors that usually connect better with men. So the next time when you are doing presentation, again, do check whether the audience are mostly men or men or women.
Can I just ask a question? When you say it's connect better with the men, are you saying that the man will be more attracted to these colors?
Yeah. Perhaps you want to take the questions later when we finish the presentation. We have a Q&A segment. We'll come back to your questions on that, all right? Okay. Now, what about children? I know some of you work with children, right? I have a friend, Adeline, are you here? Adeline is a play therapist. She works with children. So I remembered I was talking to her before and she told me that, hey, you know, these children that I work with, right? Okay, they are so amazed with the clothes I wear because every time I go, I like to wear certain colors. Then she asked me, is it because children tend to like more colorful colors? What do you think?
Yellow.
Yellow. Now, these 6 colors, right? Okay, you all know what is primary and secondary colors, right? We all learned all these things when we were young. What are the 3 primary colors? Do you all know?
Yellow, blue,
Primary?
and
Primary
yellow. Sorry.
Primary is red,
Blue
blue,
and yellow.
yellow. Okay, this is primary. Okay, now when we do painting, when we mixed yellow with red, we get orange, right? Now, when I mix yellow with blue, I get green. Or when I mix blue with red, I get purple. So orange, green, and purple are what we call the secondary colors, right? So you all got it, right? Primary colors and secondary colors. Now, to connect better with children, these are the 6 colors that works best with them. Children like things which is very bright and very original. They don't like things which is like in the lighter shades or in the darker shades, you know. So why is it so? Now, based on color psychology, right? When they see red, it actually increases their alertness and appetite, right? Yellow, when they see yellow, they feel happiness. When they see orange, it gives them comfort. And what about blue and green? It kind of calms them down. All right. Now, if you realize this, right? Red and yellow, does it remind you of something? Red and yellow equals to?
McDonald's.
You're right. You are right. Red and yellow equals to McDonald's. Okay. Now, many years back, when I was studying about colors, then I came across these articles, and they were talking about different F&B. They choose different colors for different purpose, or rather, to connect with their audience. And guess what? There's a very good reasons behind why McDonald's is red and yellow. All right. As indicated here, red increase alertness and appetite. Yellow makes children happy. So for those of you who has got little children, right, I'm sure you have got this experience. Every time they pass by McDonald's, they just have to get into the McDonald's, right? Because it makes them feel happy. So it's the color of happiness to them. So red and yellow, McDonald's. All right. So you all didn't realize that, right? Red and yellow.
Never. This is my first time.
Well, I mean, before we go to that, right? Okay, what about Starbucks? What is the color of Starbucks?
Green, brown,
Green.
Yes. Now, so does Starbucks give you the kind of feels that, do you think your children are more attracted to Starbucks or McDonald's? Obviously, it's
McDonald's.
okay. We apart from the toys, lah. Okay, I know McDonald's have toys. Okay. Green, because green do not give them this kind of feeling, right? So yes, for some of you, if you do work with children, and you need to connect with them, please do consider color properly, because this is actually a very important factor. I remember this sidetrack a bit lah. This one many years back when my son was very young. He was still like about 12 months old. I bring him to the childcare, okay? And there is this teacher outside the childcare taking temperature for the children, okay? The teacher is basically quite dark, lah. Okay, I'm not being racist here, okay? I'm just trying to explain that the teacher is quite dark. She has got curly hair and her eyes is quite big, and she's wearing black. So I look at the children, poor children, the row of children are all crying, because when they look at her, they go so frightened, right? Because it's a color that makes her look very serious. So obviously it has, if you ask me, yes, definitely, it does have an impact on the children. When children look at her, they feel frightened, they feel threatened, all right? Okay, let's move on. Now, very interesting, C, convey. So some people ask, oh, Angie, you mean you are able to use color to convey a message to your customers, to your audience? Is it possible? Yes, it's possible if you choose the right color tones. And here we are talking about what message do you want to convey to your audience? For example, if you are in a certain industry, you need to create a kind of look that shows that you need to trust me, I have the credibility. Then what would be a better choice of colors to give you that kind of look? Or you want to project authority to your audience. Perhaps you are in the high management or you are the boss of a certain company. Obviously, you want to project a sense of authority. And how do we do that with colors without having to go around and tell people and say, hey, I'm the boss, No, you don't have to do that. In fact, when you choose the right colors, you are able to do that. Now, friendly and approachable. A lot of people in the sales industry always ask me, I need to look professional, but I need to look friendly and approachable as well. Because you see, whenever we talk about professional, the first thing that comes to people's mind is what? Black. Am I right? So that's why when you go to NUS, last time I teach in NUS, and the group of graduates that comes back for the class, the teacher asks them to, hey, you got to wear a business suit. And guess what? 90% of them are in black jacket suit. What about the 10%? The 10% because they don't have a jacket, so that's why they didn't wear any jacket. Okay, so you see, the misunderstanding here is that black is the most professional, but it's not. if you need to look professional, but yet friendly and approachable, there are colors that actually can achieve that. Okay, which I'm going to share with you shortly here. Now, to project authority, what kind of job probably need to project authority? Probably in the higher management, or if you are the boss of a company and you need to project the sense of authority to your subordinates. Choose color which is in the darker tone. Darker tone as it can be a dark gray, dark blue, it can be dark brown, it can be dark purple as well. So these are colors that gives you, shows that you are serious, because it's dark, and then it tells people that, okay, I'm serious, okay, I meant business, and jokes aside. Hey, what about if you need to look friendly and approachable, especially when you're in the industry or in the front line, or you need to meet clients a lot? You want to project an image that you are approachable, you're friendly, you're relaxed, people can connect with you, people want to talk to you, isn't it? So you can choose a range of color called the pastel color. All right, as you can see from below the range of jackets here, it can be a pink, coral pink, it can be beige, it can be a light green, it can be a light blue, it can even be a light purple. Guys, don't worry, okay? I'm not saying that you have to wear these kind of colors for jacket. I know not many guys can accept it, yeah, but we are also referring to shirt as well. You can use it for your shirt instead of jackets. Okay. What about if you want to look very dynamic and exertive, especially when you are in the entertainment industry, or when you are in a place whereby you need to have more attention, colors in the jewel tone would do the part. As what you see from here, a bright yellow, a fuchsia color, a bright blue, and even a bright green. All these are colors that are a little bright. And because it's brighter, it tends to attract attention a little bit more. So obviously, people who doesn't want to have much attention, they usually shy away from this color. Okay, now, to establish trust and credibility, you want people to look at you as someone that is very warm and reassuring, so that they can talk to you, they can open up to you, especially when you're doing coaching. Earth color is a good choice. It can be brown, it can be a army green. So these are the range of colors that you can consider. For male and female are both, okay? All right. Now, if you cannot decide, blue is the best, all right? Remember just now when we were talking about if your audience is male, one of the choice is blue, right? And same thing, if your audience is female, one of the choices is also blue. So basically colors of blue colors, right? Based on color psychology, it's the colors that appeals to majority, all right? It's the colors that give people a sense of peace, tranquility, and it means it doesn't give people anything that is, it doesn't give people a bad feel, I see. So basically it's a color that is well accepted by majority of people. The only reasons that so far I have found out that why people don't like blue is, especially people who are in the creative industry, the only reasons they give is because it's boring. So that's about all. All right, other than that, blue is usually a very, very safe color. So you can tell from here, right, the different range of blue, from the darkest blue to the lightest blue. All right, so if you decide, or rather you cannot decide what colors to buy, right? Blue is definitely a color that you wouldn't go wrong. Okay. Now, last but not least, I'd like to, I've been sharing quite a bit, yes, and what I'm trying to conclude here is that clothes is definitely a very powerful communication tools, a non-verbal communication tools, that it communicates and speaks so much about yourself without you realizing it. And if you really know how to make use of it, it will work very well for you, especially now in the new norm. So I would like to close with this quote. Fashion is the armor to survive in the reality of the everyday lives. And with this, I thank you so much for all of you here with me. I hope you learned something that is valuable to you, that you'll be able to use it for your next presentation online perhaps. And if you like to connect, for any speaking engagement, I'm with Richard Gavier's Speaker Management. If you like any of the speaking engagement that for further topics like public speaking or leaderships, you can always connect here in this email. Or if you want to connect with me on a personal note, find me in LinkedIn, Facebook, and also Instagram. All right. So thank you so much for listening. Back to you, Nick.
Hi, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Angela. Thank you. Okay, honestly, I must share that when I invited Angela a couple of months back, she told me that she was busy all the way. I'll be back to you in June. So I was just thinking
Yes.
that, okay. So I finally got a chance to listen to her. I must say that I really learned a lot tonight. I never know that blue is one of the favorite color for men. But I think that I still prefer, although I love blue, but I still love red and pink also. I understand that just now Adam was Adam was asking,
Yes.
how come men get connected with red and pink? So Adam, would like to switch on your mic. Over to you, Adam, for your question.
I was asking when you say that these colors connect with men connect with these colors, is it that men are attracted to these colors, or the women are attracted to men because of those colors?
Okay, now when we say connect, right, basically we are talking about the ability to engage with your audience. You see, because there's this color, we call this color psychology. You see, like for example, all of us here, we have got different liking for different colors. There are some colors that you're more drawn to, and when you see certain colors, you're happy. There's no right or wrong, when it comes to color. All right. So because of this fact that some people like certain colors, some people do not, there is also a risk that as a presenter, especially, right? For example, today I were to wear red, and in the audience, there could be some of you that dislike red. It's possible. And when I wear red, when you look at me, you feel very uncomfortable and you don't like me. You don't even like to look at me. And somehow you feel very disconnected with me because of the color without you realizing it. It's not because of my face, but because it's my color. All right. So basically, that's what I mean. Yeah. So because of the impact that the color has, it stirs a feeling on the audience. And that's why. And why this color is because color experts and research, they have done research and they found out that majority of the people are able to connect with this color that I just showed you earlier. You can always do a test, Adam.
So Angela, just to check with you, based on all these colors, do we need to do a color skin tone check on our skin, or we can just don on any shades of blue will be good?
Okay, that's a very good question, Nick. Okay, now to answer to your questions, right? Okay, I'm sure a lot of you know this thing called the spring, summer, autumn, winter color, correct or not? Yes. And a lot of people always ask me, hey, Angie, so what is my color? Am I a spring, a summer, or autumn, or winter? Okay, first of all, I would like to ask, do we have blonde hair, red hair, blue eyes, green eyes?
No.
We don't have, right? Okay, these four seasonal colors are originated from countries whereby they have not only 4 seasons, and because their skin and the hair are so different from us Asians. So the good news is, Nick, for us here in the Asians, we can take majority of the color, in fact, most color.
Oh.
Yes. The only thing that's why you see, I give you one example today. Let's say the color, you've done a color analysis and someone tell you, hey, Nick, the color that look best on you, okay, based on the skin tone is red. Okay, assuming. I know you don't like red. Now, based on color psychology, red, when you see red, some people see blood. I have a client that when we do a test on him, and then he tell me that I don't like red because when I see red, it makes me very angry and very agitated. I feel very unhappy when I see red. So that's very dangerous. Imagine you as a presenter, you're wearing red, and then you talk to this person without realizing that this person does not like red and hated red, in fact. So that's why I said the safest is blue, because so far nobody hated blue.
Quite true. Because
I have a
normally when I
question.
do trade, oh yes, Dr. Patrick.
Patrick,
Angelia, as you can see, I'm wearing blue. It's not because
black or
I'm
blue?
not.
Is that black or blue?
It's blue. It's blue.
Dark blue.
Blue tie, blue jacket, white shirt. It's not because I'm undecisive. It's not because I want to attract men or women. But actually, this is a company uniform. I'm still in the office. So in my company, we decided some years ago to adopt a uniform, and we
Yes.
put on jacket because we serve a particular type of client. We serve a high net worth individual. So we thought
Yes.
it would be good as a mark of respect to dress properly.
Yes.
It is also my company's logo. So you can see from my company logo, it's
Corporate
all
colour.
the different shades of blue. What's your thoughts about having uniform, corporate uniform? Because my daughter, actually, I sent my daughter to Polymoda in Florence, Italy, and she actually specialized in fashion designing. We never seem to agree on many things. And there's always this debate every now and then. Is it good to have a corporate uniform? Not good to have a corporate uniform? What's your thoughts about it?
Okay, this is a very good question, Patrick. I'm glad you asked me. Now, corporate colors, first of all, we are talking about corporates, right? So I'm sure every company, it has got its own value and branding that they're trying to portray. Okay, let's put it this way. Now, beside you decide on the color, the very important questions that you should ask yourself is, what is the message you want to convey to your audience or to your customers? From there, then you will know what will be the color that works for you. I think that would be the safest. So let's say, for example, the message I want to convey is to children. I want to convey a message of happiness, joy, and laughter. So obviously, I have to choose colors that bring joy and laughter and fun. So that can be my corporate colors. But of course, when I talk about that, obviously, my industry has got to be something that deals with children. You know what I mean? So I can understand that your kind of industry, yours is the corporate. Blue is never wrong. Blue is always correct for a corporate colors. Yeah. So there's nothing wrong with it. Perhaps your daughter didn't agree to what you are, have is that okay, coming from the fashion design industry, I'm also in the fashion industry, you see, but I'm quite balanced in the sense that I come from the fashion industry, but I also do style coaching. So I'm blended. So I understand from the designer points of view that designers are what we call creative. They create things without boundaries. So blue is a color that they don't like. You ask any designer or any people in creative industry, blue is a very boring color. I don't like blue also.
Thank you.
Okay, I hope that answers your questions. If not, have coffee with me, I'll talk to you.
No worry. Thank you very much.
Okay.
I learned something today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Patrick. Is there any more questions that you wanted to have with regards to your colors when you're doing your presentation? Because I do make a special effort if I'm going to do a corporate training. If I know that my clients have any corporate colors, I will try to dress according to their colors to the training.
Yeah, to blend in.
Yes, but
Yes.
so far I think I've done Coca-Cola. I've done training for Coca-Cola, but I've never go in red jacket.
You don't wear red, right?
I think Coca-Cola is the loudest colors that I ever done for. No, AIA also in red also. Yeah, I also never went in red too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, I think I went in gray.
Gray is a very, very wise choice, you know. Gray means neutral. You don't side anyone. It's not black, it's not white. So gray is neutral.
Okay. So thank you so much. Any more questions I'd like to pose to Angie, and she'll be here to take any of your questions. And meanwhile, I've also posted the link to our APTS Telegram group also. So do join us at this group Telegram group for more updates with regards to our monthly networking session. So we'll post it over there. So let's say that if you do not wish to miss out some of our monthly updates, so do join the Telegram group and you can receive the latest update from our Telegram group. Of course, you can also subscribe our Facebook group also, APTS. Just search for it. You can get all the information updates from there.
Yes.
So any more questions for Angela? Because I
Yep.
know that no, she's really someone that can answer any of your
Yeah, ask me
questions with
anything.
regards, yes.
With regards to clothes.
Yeah, with regards to clothes and colors only.
Clothes,
Purely to
clothes.
colors and clothes only.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Anyone
Yeah.
has questions? Anyone?
Mm.
Or while you're thinking, maybe I just thought of sharing this with Angela. All right, it's very useful. I think this will always be evergreen. Whatever you're teaching, the matching and all this, because this psychology is evergreen. It will always be present. And now that we're moving things to online, I had this experience because we view a lot of screen or recording,
Yes,
etc. So I thought this may be useful for you if you really want to take your training to a different level, because now really it's focusing on technology and
Yes.
just one area, because I realized I was attending the church worship services, etc. So they are all on the screen, all the big screen behind them, and then there was this once somebody wore something. I just couldn't figure it out. It is not so much of the color, not so much of the color, but I think it was the pattern, the parallel lines such that when, because of maybe the frequency, the 50 hertz, 60 hertz, that kind of stuff. You sort of see some 3D effect, that kind of thing. Moving, the shirt is probably looks like it's moving.
Oh, yes, yes.
So
Yes.
I think there's a lot maybe to really study even deeper to this, and that will really bring your training to yet another level, because these are not about just colors anymore. You're going to share with them the effects of technology, the screen time, recording, etc. So just to share with you that.
Oh, yes, David. Thank
Yeah.
you for sharing. In fact, I think Nick would Nick knows what you're talking about, huh?
Okay.
Nick.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
because we had got programs whereby actually talk about that.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
good,
so this
good,
thing
good,
is called the moi effect, because now that we are on screen, right? Sometimes there's this thing called the resolution effect. So that's why, especially for guys, right? If you are going to wear stripes, you got to be very careful. You may end up having this kind of effect, like what David just said. Yes. Actually, not
Oh,
only
that's good, that's
stripes,
good.
in fact, some checkers as well. Yeah, so it's better to check. So you see, actually for online presentation, right? Safest is to go for plain color. Then you don't have to worry about all this thing at all.
That's great. Thank you.
Yes,
Good,
yes.
good.
And I'd like to thank some of my friends. Actually, I have got some overseas friends that came and support me tonight. I got friends from Malaysia and got friends from Canada.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here. Thanks, Charles.
Thank you, Angela, for your time. So let's say that if you wish to reach out to Angela, she has shared just now her contact, and if not, maybe you can also invite Angela to share her contact card through the what's that called, through our Zoom chat group also. You can just post it there too, so that we can find ways to contact you. Otherwise, if not, you can always message me. I can also link you up with Angela also through her social media, or even through her email address also. Thank you so much, Angela.
Thank you.
Thank you. And it was a great sharing session by Angela. So if you happen to miss it, not a problem with that. You can always go to our APTS Facebook group, and then we have the link over there. So you can always catch the replay of the recording of the tonight session. And so coming forward, we're going to invite the next guest speaker for this evening. And as David has mentioned earlier, a veteran in this industry. We have done so much for this training industry. So what will make a business outstanding one? You'll be the best person to come on the stage to share with us. I strongly believe that none of us have the experiences that he had, because you have listed 3 businesses. So you have listed 3 companies on SGX, ASX, NYSE, and he has a doctorate in education. Is evolved around financial intelligence, and this person is went through deep, dark, almost bottomless pit in the process of losing millions of dollars, have to think over this question again and again. What is the question? And that say that how can you build a business that's respected, grow, and become profitable? Let's put our hand together to welcome Dr. Patrick. Patrick, over to you.
Thank you very, very much for that really kind introduction. After that kind introduction, I must say I'm also dying. I'm also dying to hear myself too. First of all, thank you very much, President David Lee, Mr. Nick Sim, and all the professionals at APTS, and many of you who are professionals out there who are my friends. I see many familiar faces. To me, it's a great honor, and really, I feel very humbled to be able to come and share with all of you to share this platform with another good friend of mine, another old friend of mine, Angelia Pua. I was seeing through the whole presentation. I've learned a little bit. Hopefully, when I go back home, my daughter will not say I don't have any fashion sense at all. Okay. Okay. This whole presentation started because I called my good friend President David Lee and shared him an idea. And I told him, I say, I'm so excited. I've shared this idea with many friends, many speakers, trainers, many business owners, many executives have done very well because of this idea. And he said, hey, why don't you come around and share with us? And then I talked to Nick Sim. Nick Sim said, hey, come and give a talk at the same time. So I thought to myself, I'll do a talk, but I'm not the expert in the idea. So I actually invited a friend of mine, a colleague of mine, to come and share with you in a short while time. So that he can share with you this idea, and hopefully this idea will inspire all of you to do well, especially during this pandemic. Now, before I start, how many of you want to become successful? How many of you? Just type on your chat group right now. How many of you want to become successful? Say yes. Okay, I am seeing many of you here typing yes. Okay, how many of you want to be respected? Type me, M-E. If you want to be successful, type yes. If you want to be respected, type me. Okay. Okay, we have quite a few people now typing me. Thank you. Of course, Chun Lei, Vijay, David himself. Okay, very good. How many of you want to be successful and respected at the same time? Type both, B-O-T-H. So so I know that you are typical Singaporean, you know, like IP, I-Chi, I-Ho, quite total, everything also you want. Okay, type both, and I want to see. Okay, very good. Yes, me both. Okay, very good. So we are on the same page now. I'm going to share with you a story. This is a very personal story. It's a real life story. This story is one of the happiest experiences in my life, and one of the most tragic experiences in my life. Both happiness and pain all at the same time. And this story happened in 2003. How many of you were alive in 2003? Can I see, because I don't see faces. How many of you were alive? Raise up your hand so I can see. Okay, very good. Some of you didn't raise your hands. I didn't know you're so young. Okay, so it happened in 2003. And in 2003, that was the first coronavirus crisis. I remember very clearly on the 14th of March, the Minister of Health made a very important announcement. There's something in the air. They don't know what it is. People were falling ill. Many people actually died, including a very famous doctor, a son of one of my friends, Dr. Alexander Chow, also passed away because of the coronavirus. And so the whole Singaporean, or everybody in Singapore masked up, the economy took a nosedive, the whole property market crashed. Now, at the point in time, my whole business literally went down and down and down. Every day when I opened the door, we were losing thousands and thousands of dollars. And to make matters worse, when I was doing a personal audit, I realized I was carrying personal liabilities. That means I have to pay with everything I have, personal liabilities. I was carrying personal liabilities to the tune of millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. How many of you would like to know how many millions of dollars of personal liabilities I was carrying? Just type a question mark, and maybe for the first time in my lifetime, I'm prepared to share with you. How many of you would like to know how many millions of dollars or some of you type a few questions more. Let me ask you this question. Do you want to know the answer because you want to do academic research, or you're just kepo, you're busybody? Okay. Yeah, I've got some both. Okay, very good. At one point in time, I actually lost $40 million. 40,000 $0. I don't know about you. I don't know how many of you have got problems. Every night when I sleep, I slept with my tears, crying myself to sleep. Until one day I realized I have no more tears. You know, and when you cannot cry anymore, it is worse than the crying. You know, I was going through what the Chinese call a half death. You know, the Chinese, when they want to be very nasty, they don't curse you to death. They curse you to half death. Chinese say, 出生不得, 出死不入. You want to live, you cannot live, and death is not an option. And every night I slept curled up, and I always wonder why I curl up like this. Then one day I realized I was sleeping exactly like a baby in the mother's womb. And so I felt like somebody had pushed me down a deep, dark, and like Nick Sim say, an almost bottomless pit. And I did everything possible to turn my life around. And I remember one night I was in my room, I didn't know what to do. And finally I went on my knees for the first time in my life. And then I looked up to whoever was up there. And for the first time in my life, I screamed from the bottom of my heart, help me, please, help me. I can't take it anymore, please. And when I was doing that, somehow I felt that somebody was talking to me. I thought I was hallucinating, I was going mad. And all I heard was two very simple words. And the two very simple words were touch lives. When you go out there, whoever you meet, touch their lives. Treat them as humans. Bring out the best from them. Help them to live a meaningful, exciting, and fulfilling life. You know, when I heard that, I almost laughed because treat human as human. Of course, we treat human as humans. If we don't treat humans as humans, what do we treat humans as? And then during that year, there were many surveys. For example, Gallup International did a survey in Singapore. They did a survey among workers. Guess how many of them were happy or unhappy? Between 0% unhappy, between 100% happy to 0% unhappy. Where do you think most Singaporeans lie in the spectrum? Okay, why don't you type on the chat box now? If you think that most Singaporean workers are 100% happy, type 100. If you think that some are happy, some are not happy, type 50. If you think everybody is unhappy, type 0. Okay, choose one number between 0 to 100. 100 being happy, 0 being unhappy. Just choose one number. Betsy, 20%. Serious, that bad? Okay, we've got Kian, 10%. Okay, we have David, 18%. Okay, let me give you the answer, okay? According to Gallup International that year in 2013, 84% of Singaporeans were not only 0, they were actually below the 0 indicator. I didn't even know below unhappiness level, there's another level, and it's called disengaged. And most people are actively disengaged. Now, I cannot use another word to describe the word disengaged except to use a Hokkien word. And the Hokkien word is called bo chap. And bo chap means every morning, workers all over Singapore, they wake up, they unzip their brain, they take out their brain, they put in the refrigerator, then they go to work. When the boss said turn left, they turn left. When the boss said turn right, they turn right. They have no more desire, no more passion, no more enthusiasm to go to work. And so when I was reading all this, I finally look up to whoever was up there. I say, okay, if that's what you want me to do, I will go out there and touch lives. And when I did that, I heard somebody up there saying, but that's only part 1. We still have part 2. And I was thinking, how many parts are there? Is this one of those Korean serial drama or like Chinese, Taiwanese serial drama? I'm sure you've heard of this Taiwanese serial drama called I. 869 chapters, and this movie has not ended yet because people were still watching it. And finally, I look up, I say, what's in part 2? And I felt somebody up there telling me, when you go out to work, turn to every person and tell them 3 very simple words. And the 3 very simple words were, I love you. You know, when I heard that, I almost looked up and says, I don't want to talk to you anymore. Do you have an option 2? You know, The reason is because for ladies to say I love you is very easy. For men to say I love you, somehow, you know, our neural network don't seem to connect. And the worst thing is I'm a man. How many of you can tell I'm a man? Okay, very good. Thank you very much. Some of you are still watching. So, you know, it's very hard for us men to say I love you. It's not that I did not try. I remember when I go out to work the next day, I will look at somebody in the eyes. I say, you know, brothers, sisters, you're very important. I want to bring out the best from you, help you to live a meaningful, exciting, and fulfilling life. And the reason is because you know, I was like, you know, crashing all my words together and then running away straight away. And most of the time they say, boss, I can't understand what you're saying. And finally, I mastered all my courage and started to tell each and every person, you know, I want to treat you as a human. Because when I think about the things that's happening in the real world, we never quite treat humans as humans. Most humans around us, you know, is a tool, is an indicator, is a denominator, is a number, is part of an operational model, part of a business plan. And we even have a department called Human Resources Department. So most people, humans in the workplace, humans around us are, you know, it's just a resource basically. And I say, I want to treat you as a human, bring out the best from you, help you to live a meaningful, exciting, and fulfilling life. You know, when I did that, you know, I felt like, I don't know how to explain to you. I feel like I have destroyed myself, recreated myself, found a new way to run my business basically. And I not only have to tell my people I love you, I started to write what I used to call a love letter. That means every week I will write a love letter to all of them. I tell them, you know, not only I want to tell you I love you, but I want to demonstrate love to you. You know, I'm not the most perfect leader. Teach me, show me, help me to understand how to make you feel love in the organization, make you feel the warmth that we do care for you basically. And so to me, love is not just a word. Love is an action. It's not just a noun. It is a verb basically. So I started to change my whole business model. I call this the love-based management business model. And right now in National University of Singapore, they actually have a case study of our love-based management system. I started to make changes. I turned half of my office into a lifestyle office. I tell them, you know, the company should be your second home. You know, our business should be your extended family. Our organization should be your extended family. So I turn half of my office into a lifestyle office where people can enjoy, have fun. I've got billiard table, games, nice food, karaoke, massage chairs, all kinds of wonderful things for them. And as I was doing everything possible to help them to understand love, suddenly something happened to the culture of my company. I cannot even explain to you. It's like strangers will walk into my office and they say, you know, Patrick, I feel that there's something in this office. I cannot explain to you. I can feel, you know, some kind of electricity in the office. And people actually stay back. You know, they want to go back home. Every night I have to chase them home. And I joke with my friends, if you are working in my company, if you ever want to faint, you have to wait till the end of the day because the office is so crowded, nobody will go home. And at the end of the day, when everybody go home, then you can tumble down. And so things begin to change. I've got people who come and say, you know, I like your company, I like your culture, I like to do business with you. And I started to have, you know, very interesting, unpredictable revenue generators streaming through a company. And I've got people in my company that were so motivated and excited. They work differently. They run the company differently. They serve the company very, very differently. And according to Singapore 1000 SME 500 study, from 2003 to 2009, my company was listed as one of the fastest growing company. In fact, at one stage, we were the 7th fastest growing company in Singapore. We are not a multinational company. We are not a large enterprise. We're not a government-linked company. We're not a technology-enabled company. We end up being the 7th fastest growing company in the whole of Singapore. And in my industry, we were the #1 fastest growing company. And in 2010, according to the same study, we became the most productive company in Singapore based on ROE. And then in 2011, you know, we became the first public listed company in my industry. So from 2003, for 3 years, up till year 2006, I managed to clear all my debt. And then from then on, within less than 5 years, I listed the company, and I like to believe until today, it is still a historical record. Nobody has been able to clear millions of dollars of debt. And even if they don't carry millions of dollars of debt, they were never able to build and list a company all within less than 5 years. So we set a historical record, not just in Singapore Stock Exchange, but in any stock exchanges in the world. Now, why am I telling you this story? I'm telling you this story because I don't know about you, what you do. Some of you are speakers, some of you are trainers, some of you are coaches, some of you are business owners, some of you are independent contractors, some of you are executive working in companies. I went through the worst period of my life, and out of this crisis, I learned four very powerful lessons. And I'd like to share with you these four very powerful lessons. I hope it will inspire you. It will be a true north, a compass for you. I want to use a metaphor of a computer. all of you are sitting in front of a computer right now, whether it's a phone or computer. So I'm going to use a metaphor of a computer or a phone. And every time when you see a computer, you see a phone from now onward, I hope you remember these four very powerful lessons. The first lesson is called hardware. Heart, H-E-A-R-T, hardware. Every computer, there's a heart. We call it the central processing unit. And there's a jargon in the computer world. It's called GIGO. You put good stuff into the computer, you get good stuff out. You put garbage in, you get garbage out. So the question I want to ask you is this: why do you do what you do? Why are you a trainer? Why are you a speaker? Why are you a business owner? Why are you self-employed? Why are you an employee? Why do you do what you do? Because if you don't know why you're doing what you're doing, you will never be able to find meaning, purpose, excitement, and fulfillment. And if you don't know the why, you will never be able to find out the how. The reason I always say this is because it is your purpose that will always drive your performance and your pursuits. I repeat again, it is your purpose that will always drive your performance and your pursuits. Why do you do what you do? If you don't know the why, may I strongly suggest that this evening you stay up a bit later, spend time with yourself and your creator, and ask yourself, why am I living my life? Why am I doing what I'm doing? Why am I spending most of my time in the workplace? Because other than sleeping, you and I are going to spend most part of our life in the workplace than any other activities. And you'll be very sad if one day at the end of your life, you look back and you realize you have never found your wife, you never found your purpose, you never found a cause that's so compelling, that's so electrifying, that's so vital and important. And because you fulfill this purpose, because you pursue this purpose, you found personal fulfillment in what you do. The second lesson I learned is called hardware. Every computer has got hardware. And to me, the hardware of your business, the hardware of your life, the hardware of your team, the hardware of the organization, the hardware of everything you do has to do with the structure, the system, the processes, and procedure. I wish that my colleague is wanting to tell you, I love you. But the best way for me to love you is to run the best organization, the best system, the best structure, the best processes, the best procedures. Because you can tell me I love my family, but if you're not running your family well, you're not managing your household well, you're not leading your family members well, don't tell me you love your family members. That's only lip service. And I tell you what we do as a company, and I suggest maybe you can find other ways to do it. First, we benchmark ourselves with the best of the best. So whatever you do, whatever industry, whatever profession you're in, there's always benchmarking being done. There's always, for the best practice. We make sure that we measure ourselves against all these best practice. We measure ourselves against any benchmarking studies. For example, we were the first company to get ourselves certified to ISO and PEC standard. We also submit ourselves to competition, not because we want to have vain glory, But we want to be able to learn from other people. We want to be able to learn from also not just other people from other industry, but also from our industry, from our counterparts, and even from our competitors, basically. Initially, we didn't win any award, but later on we begin to win award because we started to learn, we started to improve, we started to get better. And I always say this, if you continue to improve every day, every moment of your life, you will see yourself coming to a point where you will not only have incremental improvement, you have quantum leap of improvements, basically. The third lesson I learned is called software. What is the software? The software is the people aspects in your life. And I always say this, it is the people in your organization that make your organization work. It is the people in your business that make your business work. It is the people in your team that make your team work. So the question I want to ask you this evening is this. Do you love people, use things, or do you love things, use people? I repeat again. Do you love people, use things, or you love things, use people? We can have the right answer, but is that how we live our life? I tell you what we do in our company, basically. We used to have a commercial building. According to Straits Times, we were the first company to have valet service because we look after our people's vehicles. On the left-hand side, we have a kindergarten, we have a childcare center. Many of my colleagues are parents. They have young kids. They put their children into a kindergarten, the childcare center. They can see their kids all the time. On the right-hand side, we have our own cafeteria, we have our own gymnasium, we have our own karaoke, we have our own restaurant. In the middle of the building, we have our own salon. So all my employees get a free haircut every month. We have our own masseur. We even have our own spa. And we were poster boy for Google until we realized that Google has much better facilities. But the boss of Google tell me we have hardware, but we don't have the kind of software that you have. The reason is because we organize all kinds of activities, all kinds of events, all kinds of experiences for people. Because at the end of our life, we don't remember everything that happened. We only remember the experiences. We only remember the moments. So we make it a point to create special moments. We make it a point to create heart-wrenching, heart-touching experiences for people, basically. And then the last lesson that we learn is called soulware. What is the outcomes? What is the outputs? What is the impact that you are doing? Whatever work you're doing, if it's just purely for your salary, purely for promotion, purely for profit, purely for having a bigger market share, when you reach my age, I'm not young. You can tell I'm not a young man anymore. But when you reach my age, you realize all these doesn't matter. We pursue what I call the 7 P's in our life. We pursue profits or personal income. We pursue position, power, possession, pleasure, privilege, prestige. But at the end of our life, all these doesn't matter anymore. I don't know if anybody lying on a dying bed and then they scream to themselves, I wish I've got bigger house. I wish I've got bigger car. I wish I've got bigger wife. I don't think so. I think at the end of our life, we look back and ask ourselves, have we made a positive difference on the people around us? Have we made a positive impact on the environment around us? So I call this the 6 C's. First C is colleagues. How do you take care of your colleagues? So I'm glad that my company, my current company, we are the one and the only sole winner of the Singapore Human Resources Institute Corporate Award. And one of the things they mentioned is this, they interview all my staff, they say, we have never found a more happy team than what you have. The second C is what I call community. So we walk around our community, we realize there were many elderly people sitting around in void deck, not because they're poor, but because they're lonely. And loneliness is one of the biggest plague of the elderly. We started a charity to look after elderly. Today, our charity, we look after 3,500 elderly. Then the third C is the country. What can we do to contribute to the country? So I personally chair 3 government committees. I started a charity that train young people. Today, we train 20,000 young people free of charge every year on life skills. Even during the pandemic last year, we managed to train 13,500 young people. We train them, coach them, mentor them, and help them to develop life skills, the kind of skills that are important in life. Then we look at other countries. we started to see what we can do every time when there's a natural crisis, when there's an earthquake, when there's a cyclone. We started to have our own orphanages and do many different things until we realized actually there are many foreigners who are actually in our country. So we started our own center. So if you go to 37 Virasamy Road, we run probably the only charity center that I know of that provide holistic services to migrant workers. There are 258,400 migrant workers. And even during this pandemic, we try to do everything we can to help some of them. For example, last year, we have a project. We look after the families of nurses and doctors because we think of the frontliners, but actually it's the family behind them that support them, that encourage them, that back them up to go to work. So we have a project doing this. This year, we have a project helping a village in Yunnan because they survive on tea leaves, and because of the pandemic, all their logistical services have broken down. So we taught them how to repackage a tea leaf into something really exciting and beautiful. And we're now distributing a tea leaf for them on a non-profit basis, on a cost-to-cost basis to save that particular village. And then we're also working with an agency now to look at how we can help the people in Myanmar, because there's a lot of turmoil, a lot of pain and sorrow in Myanmar right now, especially with the Rohingya Muslim people in Myanmar. So we're doing a project over there. But more importantly, we want to be a catalyst. So today we challenge all our friends, we challenge all our customers, we challenge all our students, and we're also challenging all of you to join us. If every one of us donate our thoughts, our time, our talents, including our money and our treasure, I believe we can change the world. Because we need a fourth key. Government is the first key, but government depends on election. Their hands are tight. The second key is the university, but they primarily focus on education. The third key are the charity organization. They've been around for many years, but they sometimes are lacking in terms of talents and systems and resources. The fourth key really belongs to you and me. If all of us put the fourth key in, I believe we can change the world. We can turn the world upside down or right side up. I believe the next generation can point to our generation and say, our generation finally got our acts together. We join our hands together with all our hearts. We all go out there and change the world, basically. So I hope my little story have inspired all of you. I want to close with one saying before I pass to my colleague with this wonderful idea that I share with President David Lee and also with Nick Sim. And I hope this idea will inspire all of you. And then when we finish, I have a small little present for all of you, and then I will be ready to take some questions. But let me close by saying this. We have a saying in our company, a value statement. We say the more you and I reach out to bless other lives, the richer and better your life can become. Let me repeat again. The more you and I reach out to bless other lives, the richer and better our life will become. So I'll pass the time now to my friend Alex Chua, and he'll share with you the idea. I told him to take only a few minutes, and if some of you are interested to pursue the idea, maybe you can just talk to him on a private basis. Okay, so I'll pass the time now to Alex. So Alex, wherever you are right now, can you come on the screen? Then the wonderful.
Okay, so thank you, Rick. Yeah. So basically, what I would just like to share about today. Okay, hope you all can hear me fine. So thanks again for the introduction, Dr. Patrick, as well as David and Nick for having us tonight. So basically, what we want to talk about today is actually skills future programs in Singapore. So early on, I heard that there's some overseas attendees as well in the audience. So not everybody might be familiar with what Skills Future credits are or what this initiative is. Basically, for those of you that don't know, the Skills Future accreditation programs are actually a national movement for the Singaporeans to actually develop new skills at different stages of their life. So the Singapore government actually wants everyone to go back to school. So they actually give every Singaporean above the age of 25 years old minimally $500 of credits to attend programs, to learn new skills and develop new skill sets to upskill themselves. So if you count the amount of Singaporeans above age 25 in Singapore, and then you times that by the amount of credits they give out, easily it's over $1 billion that the Singapore government have dispensed out into the market. All right, so our minister, Ong Ye Kung himself actually said that SkillsFuture remains as one of the most important economic as well as social strategies for Singapore future. Okay, why is that? Because a lot of Singaporeans nowadays are trying to upskill themselves, but they are not sure what to do, what programs to attend, or some might not even have the budget to do so, which is why the government actually set up this initiative to give Singaporeans up to 1,500 SkillsFuture credits. And some of the Singaporeans actually spend their credits on lifestyle courses, but a large number of Singaporeans have never used their SkillsFuture credits before. Okay, if you're one of those that's guilty, okay, definitely look into attending some of the programs. You know, learn some new skill, especially during this time where you might have a bit more time. Learn a new skill that you can upskill yourself. And if you are a trainer, definitely think about possibly getting a SkillsFuture approved program for yourself because of how big the market is. If you're a business owner, this can actually benefit you as well, because if you were to pursue a SkillsFuture program, you can not only help others by sharing your knowledge and expertise, but this can actually open up your business as well for you to promote your business as well as open up other different products and services as well. Okay, so just a fun fact before we continue. Does anybody want to take a guess when this SkillsFuture accreditation credits was actually launched as a new initiative? What was the two most popular courses in Singapore? Anybody want to guess? Okay, I'll just let you all know. The two most popular programs in Singapore was actually baking classes and Korean language classes. Okay, because all of us Singaporeans, or not all, but most of the Singaporeans, they became a big fan of the Korean dramas, the K-pop, even Korean food. Okay, so a lot of Singaporeans were spending these credits on lifestyle programs or something that to feed their interests and hobbies. But I think during the pandemic last year, when we went through the circuit breaker, a lot of people were worried about their job sustainability and job security. You know, our Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong himself said that a lot of jobs will disappear because especially COVID is going to speed up this job disruption process because of digitalization as well as other different figures. So job sustainability is not very safe anymore. A lot of people who think that their jobs are safe, they will stick at this career for a long period of time. It might not be the case anymore. So a lot of Singaporeans actually have woken up and they're looking to actually upskill themselves. So if you haven't used your SkillsFuture credits, you should definitely consider actually attending some programs. And if you are a trainer yourself or a business owner, or even if you are an individual agent, self-employed, or an employee, as long as you have some knowledge and expertise or something you're passionate about, you can really look at actually running a SkillsFuture program as well. Now, why run a SkillsFuture program? Okay, firstly is that, you know, a huge amount of people have benefited from SkillsFuture program. Having a SkillsFuture program can actually affect your branding in a very positive way, boost your credibility. On top of that, you can actually boost your business as well as your other products and services. Okay, if you don't know that, if you actually have a SkillsFuture program, your program will be listed on the SkillsFuture website. So it's a form of lead generation for your business, products, and services. Where if let's say somebody was interested in baking cakes right now, and they went on the SkillsFuture website to search baking cake, bakery classes or cooking classes, your program will actually end up there, and they will eventually end up learning from you, as well as actually attending your program and maybe even buying your cakes or other products that you are selling. So there are 3.5 over Singaporeans in Singapore right now above the age of 25. And then these are including business owners, CEOs, senior executive. So this is potentially a B2B segment for you, as well as a B2C segment as well. So to summarize, all right, it's not only to having a SkillsFuture program, it's not only going to be good for your branding, there's a huge untapped market for you to tap on, whether you are a trainer, business owner, or self-employed. it's good for you to develop new products and services for a lucrative market, as well as to advertise for your current business. Okay, and ultimately it's for you to actually open doors to new businesses. Because if you're self-employed right now, or if you're a free agent and you're not sure what to doing, as long as you have some knowledge and expertise, you can actually help people by teaching them about this subject that you are passionate about, and essentially run more products and services for them. Eventually, it will lead to you running your own business as well. All right. So if what I say interests you right now, if what I say makes sense, you actually have 3 options to get approval for your own SkillsFuture program. And the first option is to actually apply under yourself. Okay, but unfortunately, not everybody can qualify for this, because to apply for a SkillsFuture program, you actually need to have your own organizational profile. So some of you that already own your own business, you might qualify. If you're not sure, you can drop me a message, and then we can see how we can help you on that. Even if you have your own organizational profile, it's a very lengthy process. You might not know how to fill in the paperwork. You might not know how to get the paperwork approval. The second option is to actually engage a consultant to help you with the paperwork. Now, there's a lot of consultants out there that can actually help you, and they charge a fee, the market rate. And the thing is that they're good at what they do, which is getting you the approval. But the cons is that because they're usually a one-man show, or they work in very small groups, they actually don't know how to run the business successfully for you. So upon getting you the approval, you are all by yourself, and you're not sure how to actually open up the market for your product and services, as well as your business. Now, the third option is to actually work with someone who can actually show you, not only get you the approval, but actually how to run the business as well. So over here at our GEX, what we do is that we work with you step by step to not only get approval for your SkillsFuture programs, but we actually design with you and share with you the different funnels of how you can actually open up the market from your business to sell, to run different businesses and products and services. So we actually invite you to attend all of our own programs, and then we show you how we run the business. On top of that, we give you a full admin team support and actually help you scale and run your business. So if you're interested in that, because tonight is just a sharing session, you can just scan the QR code and submit your interest. And from there, we will get to know you better, and then we can arrange a consultation with you, and then share with you what we think is the best way that you can proceed, how you can actually get your own SkillsFuture program, how to actually scale the business. So I won't take up too much of your time. I'll pass the time back to Dr. Patrick, and then I'll post the link in the chat, and then you can fill in your details, and we'll get in touch with you. And if you have any more questions, we'll be happy to chat with you one-on-one from then. All right.
Okay, so that was the idea I shared with Nick and David. I've helped a lot of speakers and trainers to create their own SkillsFuture program. But I tell them it's not just creating a program. It's not just that you're tapping a $1.5 billion market, but actually you're also targeting the people you're trying to reach, whether it's business owner or training managers or learning managers or HR managers. And then when you finish SkillsFuture program, they actually hire you, retain you to train their company. So I've seen a lot of my speakers friends, especially during this pandemic, creating new product, new market, new services for themselves. I also have a lot of business owner. I've shared this idea a lot of business owner. I have a friend who go around computerizing company. And then after the SkillsFuture program, the student end up becoming his customer, outsource to him, buy his product, buy his services, and he generated more than $1 million worth of profit from there. I have another friend who's involved in an investment business. At the end of the whole SkillsFuture program, the student go to him and patronize his business, and his business has gone through leaps and bounds basically. And those of you who are executive, who are employees, you may also want to think of how to create your own SkillsFuture program, and then start to create your own business and then teach on a part-time basis. It's a big market. I think it's something that we all should tap on basically. Okay, so that's all I have. I have a small little present for everybody before I take in any questions. Let me get my slide. I actually wrote 3 manuals after I retired, after I sold my public listed company in 2013. I wrote 3 manuals. First manual to teach people how to become rich and wealthy. Second manual to teach people how to become a great leader. And my third manual teaching how to become more successful. So this is my free gift to every one of you. I don't publish them because I share many of my secrets, my personal life story there. I share about my failures, my foolishness, my frailties, and I share this with, I wrote this manual basically for my children, my grandchildren, and for my friends basically. So I hope you will be inspired by this manual. If you want to be my Facebook friend, just look for Dr. Patrick Liu. I have a personal mission after the catastrophe in 2003. Every day, I will write an inspirational message. So every day between 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock, I will publish an inspirational message, an encouraging word. So if you want to read something really inspiring, encouraging, motivational, just go to my Facebook page. I have a small little note every night you can read, make you happy before you go to sleep. Okay, so I pass the time now to Nick. I'm ready to answer whatever question you have. And if you have any questions that you want to ask my friend, you can just contact him and then he'll be more than happy, no obligation to show you what are some of the possibilities about tapping on Skill Future. If somebody is willing to share with you the business, you can learn a lot faster, go up the learning curve and become more successful in a shorter and faster way. Okay, Nick, all yours.
Thank you so much, Dr. Patrick. And what he had mentioned earlier, indeed is very true, because personally, I'm in this space also. I can strongly share with you, urge you that this is one of the road to evergreen training industry, because Skill Future credits are really here to stay. And so leverage on the system, and most importantly, that you are working with someone who's a giant considered in the training industry. So if you need more information, do contact Dr. Patrick and Alex. So the form has been, the link has been submitted in the group chat already. So do feel free to contact either one of them. So anyone, any question that you have for Dr. Patrick? Anyone? Because that's what I mentioned, because that's why there's a statement that struck me very dearly, that if you do not know the why, then you will not find the how. Because I think is very true, because when you're running a business, they are bound to have a lot of challenges. So Dr. Patrick, just want to ask you a very simple question. You know, you have run so many businesses, you have been involved in capital industry, financial industry, property industry, education industry. Which one give you the most satisfaction?
I would say that every one of them is a baby. I am excited about every one of my babies. I'm still excited about my baby. The reason is because when I was 16 years old, I adopted a value statement, and I want to share this value statement with all of you. I tell myself before I finish my O level that anything worth doing is worth doing with passion and excellence. And passion means to love whatever you do. Excellence means to do it to the best of your ability. If you don't love what you do, you won't do it to the best of your ability. And if you don't do it to the best of your ability, you will never fall in love with what you do, basically. So I've been involved in many different industries. I've listed more in 3 companies, in 3 different industries. I'm still involved in them in some ways. I'm still excited about them. So it does not matter to me whether I was in a technology industry, I was in a real estate industry, I was in the education industry, I was in the automation industry. But finally, at the end of the day, to me, what is the common denominator is a human. So I've come to realize that as long as I am in touch with a human, as long as I'm doing something to value add to the human, it does not matter whichever industry the human is in, whatever different services I'm providing to the human, as long as I can value add to a human, I will have a great sense of fulfillment. So to me, the best thing to do in life is to invest in human lives. The more you invest in human life, the better your life will become. And to me, I've come to realize, the best way to live your life is to live your life for others, not because of others. The best way to live your life is to live your life for others. And the more you brighten somebody's life, the brighter your world will become. So whatever industry that I'm in, as long as there's a human and there's a way I can value add to the human, as long as I have the person to live a more meaningful, a more exciting, a more fulfilling life, to me, I will take great satisfaction in whatever I do, basically. So I have lived by one principle, that as long as every day I can inspire one more person, I can bring somebody up to a higher level, I have done an important role as a human for that day itself. And I hope this evening by sharing with all of you my life story. I hope I will inspire some of you. So I hope I've answered your question. Do I love which industry that I love? I love every industry, because every industry, the common denominator is about humans. Thank you.
Definitely. Thank you so much for sharing that. Because I think that one of the key reasons I'm in the training industry, I'm also doing the same thing also, because I love to interact, make a positive impact. That's why we are in the training industry. I believe that most of my trainer colleagues will agree that why we choose this industry, because the work with individual do makes a lot of involvement and passion. So I also see that Adam had mentioned in the chat group saying that you need permission. The form can only be viewed by viewers in the organization, owner's organization. So perhaps Alex, you might want to work on the permission area so that interested people like Adam can go in again. The form.
Okay, thanks, Nick. We'll get open the access now.
Okay, sure. No problem with that. So any questions for Dr. Patrick? I know most of us here are veteran trainers, experienced trainers. So I'm very sure that some of us might have similar challenges along the way. Perhaps like, how are we going to stay relevant in this COVID? Because I find one thing for sure. I know that Dr. Patrick has very aggressive promoters, because in every chat group that I'm in, I always see Dr. Patrick preview coming out. So I know that he has definitely have made some people work very passionate for him. Doctor, I want to ask you this question. I'm also a trainer myself, but how do I find such aggressive promoter that love you or make him or she love me as much as how much they love you and promote in every chat group? I think Andy will agree with that also. I also know that Andy is also promoting his program passionately also, but normally it's by Andy he himself. But for Dr. Patrick, you have your pool of promoters everywhere and anywhere. How do I do that?
I have to tell you this. I'm eternally grateful and thankful that I have friends. I'm not good in many things. In fact, I'm not good in most things, but if there's an asset that I'm proud of the fact that I have many good friends in my life. And by the way, I don't even consider myself as a professional trainer. The reason is because every time I look at the qualities needed to apply to be a member, for example, of either APTS or APSS, I realize I don't qualify, because I'm not qualified as a professional trainer, as in I go around and do whatever you do. I'm at best an entrepreneur that loves to teach. And the reason I think why I have a lot of friends is because I live by one philosophy. I'm sure all of you have heard of the philosophy called win-win, right? Now, a lot of people talk about win-win, but a lot of people don't realize what win-win means. Let me give you an example, right? So, for example, I want to have a win-win relationship with Betsy, my friend. She's on the screen now. Huh? Betsy, can I have a win-win relationship with you? Is it okay if I have a win-win relationship with you? Okay, so to a lot of people, win-win means, Betsy, watch. First, I win, then I win, okay? Second time, so it's called win-win. Is that called win-win? Some people, to them, win-win means, Betsy, first I win, then you can win. I win more, you win less. That's called win-win. Actually, a lot of people don't realize that is not even win-win. To me, win-win means if I want to win, I must help Betsy to win. If Betsy don't win, I shouldn't win. If I want to be successful, I must help everybody around me to be successful. If all of you out there, you're not successful, I don't qualify to be successful. I don't deserve to be successful. And quite frankly, after 2003, I have come to one point where I just say I want to have one win relationship, which means as long as all of you out there win. I've never thought about winning myself. I've never considered how much I can win. I've never evaluated whether I should win at all. As long as you win, I'm happy. I think if all of us live by the philosophy that you want to be a plus factor to somebody else's life, you want to be an asset in somebody else's life, you want to be a value addition to somebody's life, I think you don't have to look out for friends. You become a magnet of friendship. So in my company, we call our business a franchise, not FRANCHISE. Our franchise is FRIEND, franchise, which means that to every one of our customer, you may start off as a customer, but ultimate goal is to turn you into what we call a freehold friend. Borrowing a property term, freehold friend means I want you to be my friend forever and ever. I think if you're willing to go out there and say, I want you to be successful, I want you to win, you attract a lot of friends and you attract a lot of supporters. And I'll tell you honestly, I have every day I've got people helping me, promoting my business, promoting my services, helping me, and they know deeply that I'm out there to make sure that I'm always a plus factor to people's life. So I think if we all live by philosophy, we will have a lot of friends, we will have a lot of promoters, we have a lot of people helping us. Yeah, and I know I'm very, very thankful for that. I know every now and then somebody will condemn me, and then I will see all my friends coming around to defend me, basically. And so to me, this is why one of the reasons why I sleep 4 or 5 times every day. I sleep by the count of 10. I sleep anywhere, anytime, any place, any sound, any noise, any smell, because I think I live by this philosophy where I want to be a value add to people's life, and that's why I can live happily, live peacefully. I can sleep very, very well. I'm a very, very happy man. I'm a very grateful and thankful person. I'm thankful to have friends like David and Nick and so many of you out there. And I hope tonight I will be able to enlarge my network of friends too. Hope I've answered your question in an
Yes,
indirect way.
indeed. But I must say something to you. I must complain to you, Dr. Patrick. This is something I've been pondering for the longest time. 9 years back when my mother passed away, two of my dear friends came to the wake and tried to recruit me to your GRC. They said that you must come and join Dr. Patrick GRC. The grassroots, you must go and serve, come and serve. I said that, oh my God, you come to the wake and try to recruit me to your... I said that, who is the grassroots leader? I said, Dr. Patrick.
I sincerely apologize to you because I'm a grassroots. Most of you know I'm a grassroots leader. I used to be a CCC chairman, and funny enough, I have been sent by PA headquarters by the chief executive to different constituency whenever they have problem, especially when they have no more grassroots leader, everybody left, or when there's a new constituency, they always send me there. And I will always think of how to build up a whole new grassroots organization. And I tell them with the army because to us, being involved in grassroots is not about recruiting people. It's not about winning medals, having rewards or recognition. It's really serving the constituency, and we feel this is almost like a life and death mission. The more we do our work for constituency, the better the constituency. The more fulfilled we become, basically. So I apologize if they're trying to recruit you. I hope they show you that the motive, means, and ends are honorable and good.
Definitely, that was why that I really totally very impressed by how the way you lead every single one of them. So I'll be wanting to tell you in person saying that you did a very good job. So finally, I found a chance to express this to you from a sincere from
If your permission, next time when I see you, I'll go recruit you or something. Okay.
Nick, I'm just guessing. I'm just guessing they attended the funeral, right? And after speaking to you, that's after knowing you, they sense something in you. You have the quality. That's why they ask you. They don't just ask anybody. Yeah. Oh, Patrick, if I can ask you this question, because you talk about win-win, right? And that is that emboldened me to ask you this question. I think for not just even the trainers here, but for maybe other people who are interested. You see, when you shared about or yourself, or just now when we were hearing about all the benefits about Skills Future and all this, I think there's no doubt about the huge potential out there. The market is big, and yet we are also concerned of the fact that there are certain parameters that the government has put in place, like certain, you have to satisfy certain criteria for organization profile, etc., and all this, right? Which is why you say can find out more information from you and all this. So I'm going straight to the point here. You remember when ACTA came out, right? ACTA by the government and all this, and of course we want to strike a balance here, but it seems like there are more experiences of trainers who are being pulled in through the marketing of ACTA. To certain extent, they are given the impression that you have ACTA, this is the market, and you will get the kind of training opportunities. Unfortunately, more have experience otherwise. And so we have a whole lot of people going through ACTA and coming out with a ACTA piece of paper, because being in the industry, we talk to people we know. So end up is being attending a program, and then actually not getting anything out of it. Of course, like I said, we strike balance. We're not saying that they just take ACTA and then suddenly business will flock to them. Of course, we don't expect that, but it was more of expression, an experience of end up attending another program,
or by the lure of an opportunity. So bringing back to this, and it's true, SkillsFuture is, like I said, the huge market here. So now whatever was being shared just now, I assume there's another program that will help trainers to get their program into SkillsFuture as well. And because you say win-win, and then after that you added well, actually you go down to one win even, you could even be one-sided. And I have no doubt about you because you have the capacity to give. So would you be able to help to the trainers who are here? I see some of the names I know. Okay, people who are really probably interested, all right, to really come on this bandwagon. But will they end up going in and then getting, paying for another program to teach them this and that, and then end up, getting nothing? Maybe, demystify it a little bit and
I tell you what, David, what you say, I've got goosebumps all over my body now, lah. I think when I met you for the first time, I remember very clearly. We traded horror story. We traded horror stories about the training industries, about so and so who took people for a ride. There are so many good, bad, and ugly in our business, basically. And I tell you why I have this. I came out with this idea, lah. I coach this group of people to start their own approved training organization, run WSQ SkillsFutures program. I actually challenge them. And this is something I think most of you will never be able to understand. I challenge them to actually produce competitors, to teach people, and they became very, very successful. They're probably one of the most successful organizations. I challenge them to show people how they run the business, why they're successful, what stupid mistake they make, and not only teach them, show them free of charge how to do it, basically. I want to tell you this, when I first started this, they come and tell me, say, hey, Patrick, you siao, you crazy, you think we're stupid or what? We have made so many mistakes, we have lost so much money, we have found a winning formula. Now you're telling me to go share with other people. So this is where I tell them, this is my own, and one of my personal philosophy. If you think that you share your success story with another person and you make the person a competitor, therefore that person will win more, you win less. When he gains, you lose. I think that's called a scarcity mindset, basically. I think if these group of people can teach, for example, if I use your example, teach David Lee to make more money, become a better trainer, have more customers, more students. When David Lee do very well, then more people will stop attending baking class and Korean language class. And we all know it doesn't really make sense because government want you to spend money. I mean, okay, you want to learn baking, fine, lifestyle courses. But at the end of the day, you need to spend enough of your money to go upgrade yourself. And this is where trainers such as you and me and the rest of us are involved in the picture. The more, when you do well, they will also do well. And if they do well, the student will want to attend your course. When you do well, your student can't be attending all your courses. You can't have all the courses in the world. They will also attend your course. So you're actually helping each other, basically. So I told them, why don't you do this? You show them it's no obligation. Show them the potential of the why the SkillsFuture is such a big market, it's a growing market, why they should be involved in it. Let them decide for themselves. If they decide they want to do it, show them the business. And you and I in the training business, we all know this. I always give this example. You see people have 5-star review, right? So you go to a restaurant that's got 5-star and you think that 5-star means very, very good. And then suddenly you say, hey, I ate in a 4-star restaurant that actually tastes better than your 5-star. And the reason why that restaurant has 5-star is not because the food is good. It's because of all the things that they do, putting them in a package that convince the customer to want to give them a 5-star, basically. So I always say this: if somebody show you the rope, the student show you how to make the student happy. And sometimes student being happy is not just because you're a good speaker, you've got great content. It's because of the way you take care of them. It's because of the way you stroke them. It's because of the way you show your care and concern. And then they give feedback to the government for you. They give you 5-star review on Google and all that. And that's how you learn faster, basically. So I say, show them the potential. If they're interested, let them go through your program free of charge. That means they can sit at the back and watch how you do the training, how you take care of a customer, how you give them good food, how you give them good materials, how you stroke them nicely. And then that's why you did very, very well. And the trainer will say, I know what to do. because every good trainer will open up the market bigger for us. Every lousy trainer, every student that go through a lousy training program will not want to attend any more training program, will tell their friend, don't go attend any more training program, basically. So this is what I told them to do, and it turned out to be very, very good, because at the end of the day, if the trainer or the trainer to be or the business owner want to create a program, they say, hey, the way you help me and the way you show me the rope, I'm very, very touched. I want to support you, and because you supported me in the first place. And then by doing this, everybody do better. So by doing this, they have actually done a lot better now, and they have actually got more network of people out there helping them, basically. So I don't know whether that make any sense to you. Yeah, I can tell you this. When I tell my friends, say I'm producing competitor, I'm creating competitor, they are thinking like you xiao, you're crazy. That doesn't seem like the real business world we're in. But the reality is, actually, we are not competitors. We are all collaborative partners that happen to be in industry, and if we work together, we can do better than those people who don't work together. And by working better together, we can open up the market even bigger for all of us.
Yes, you are absolutely right. You are absolutely right. In fact, APTS embodies this because what is an association? Is a community of trainers who are potentially competitors themselves, but we have always been advocating the coming together, collaborate all this. So thank you for affirming that as well. Thank you. Yeah. Do we have any more questions?
I'm not saying this theoretically. I think most of you who know me, every industry that I go to the real estate industry, I learn something. I go to association and teach my competitors. I mean, I dare to say, I mean, Bessie, I don't know whether you attest to that. I've got 10 over 1,000 people. If you put ERA and PropNext together, we're still bigger than them. I personally have been instrumental in starting PropNext. At one stage, I used to own 60% of PropNext. How did they become what they are? I like to believe that it started because I trained them, show them the rope, basically. When I started Success Resources, that today is the biggest seminar organizer in the world, and that was about almost 40 years ago, there were no seminar organizer. Nobody paid from their own pocket money to attend training. Attend training. We actually taught people how to run our business. We actually create our own competitors. Even until today, when somebody say, hey, how do you do this? How do you do the National Achievers Congress? How do you expand all over the world? You can look into our eyes and we'll tell you the complete truth. We will not tell you, like the Kung Fu Master, leave 10% of ourselves. We'll show you everything, the good, bad, and ugly, basically. Even in the technology business, I make sure I share with everybody whatever I know. And by doing this, we're all helping each other. I think if all of us have this mindset, I think we'll live in a much better world.
Great. Thank you. Yeah. Nick.
Thank you so much, David, and thank you so much, Patrick, for the questions and the answers. I think that this is very, very true because I've been working in this industry for quite a while. Also, working in this what's that called? This skill future industry. Indeed, it's not easy, and many of the fellow trainers who thought that after getting ACTA or ACLP, they earn the rights to train. But in fact, this is not really the case. But nevertheless, as mentioned earlier, we have a veteran, we have a giant who is in the industry. So if you really wish to leverage on this skill future credits space, the link is definitely posted over there. You can always contact Alex or Dr. Patrick for more information. So tonight, we're coming to an end soon. It's 9:38 already. So we are 8 minutes beyond our networking session. So any last question for Dr. Patrick, ladies and gentlemen? If not, we're going to conclude for this session for this evening. And I sincerely like to invite you to join our APTS Telegram group also. We do have our posting of our updates over there. If not, you can join our Facebook group, APTS. Search for APTS, you'll find us already, and we will add you into the group chat. Okay, so into the Facebook group. Yeah, so if there's no more questions, thank you, Dr. Patrick. Thank you, our guest for this evening. Angela, who also stayed all the way until today, end of the talk. Thank you so much. So God bless.
Thank you.
Thank you. And this is Nick signing off from here. Good night, goodbye, and God bless.
Thanks, Patrick. Thanks, Angela. Good night, everyone.
Good night.